guys. So this is a politically incorrect podcast. We're gonna go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves. Start with my boy Control Room Mugga.
Yeah.
We're live from the booth.
Kean Nelson, aka K Mugga. Follow me, Twitter, Instagram, KMugga19.
Yeah, and if y'all can't tell, he's in Tigger's basement right now.
Rap Mugga the basement, nigga.
Oh man. Dane.
What's up, vibes? No cartel. Usually I'm drinking, but I tried coffee today. Let's see how that works.
Ooh.
Oh, you about to be up?
I'm about to be wired, man. Let's go.
How long ago did you drink it?
Like an hour ago or 30 minutes.
Yeah, it might be a little. It might be a. I'm curious to. I'm gonna hit you in the morning and see how your night went.
You mean you can hit me in like 2 hours and see why I'm not asleep yet?
Facts.
3 hours.
In about 20 minutes, we see him leave. It's because he got the bubble guts.
Mm-hmm.
No, I cleared that all out before.
Because it don't take an hour, nigga. It don't take an hour. That shit run through you, brother.
Yeah, we cleared all that up. That's why I pre-gamed.
That's why I don't drink coffee, man. That's that bullshit.
Nah, it's a natural diuretic, man. Help you have a healthy movement.
Yeah, so is water.
Healthy DM.
Keep you regular.
Mom.
Oh man, we didn't even get through introductions. Y'all cracking jokes, man. I hate y'all. Gene June.
Yeah, man, that's me. It's your boy Gene, aka I know y'all don't like it. I don't give a fuck. Mr. Both Sides of the Fence, aka Mr. I ain't here to generalize shit. What's good?
I just had a lot of questions for that. That's all. Air.
No, we ain't doing that right now. You remember that time you tried to do that last time, man?
No, I'm not questioning shit this time. It was just
Word. And then we got my boy Cohib.
Yeah, man. COHIBA season. If you can't spell season, don't follow me. You heard? Follow the event space though.
shit. I need a bio like these two niggas, man.
You heard?
And I'm the boy, Dan the Man, the pod arbitrator. Welcome to Politically Incorrect Podcast. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it, unless anyone has any quick topics they want to discuss before we deep dive.
Yeah, actually, before we get too crazy, just came to my head, and it might sound a little funny, but just fuck with me for a second. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck
Oh no, ask Peter Piper.
Bro.
Bro.
I thought you were rolling the L. I didn't know you already smoked a few. Because that was different.
My boy is burnt out. He said I had an edible and forgot how to roll.
Yo.
Yo.
But to answer the question, a woodchuck as much wood as he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
That's a fact.
This nigga's a rapper for real.
Yo, you ever ask Siri that question?
Nah.
Ask Siri, she'll answer.
Chill. I ain't even set Siri up, bro. They the feds.
Your phone is the feds with or without Siri.
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to Google that one. You heard?
Wow. You about to go on Instagram and see an ad about some woodchuck shit in an hour.
Hey, bro.
We're all right, cool. So, what we want to talk about today is we want to actually talk about childhood, upbringing, some topics related to that, and we'll kind of just stem off of there. So, what we actually going to discuss first is child abuse. So, yeah, see, I heard the already. So, do you feel like child abuse was a big thing in our community growing up? Obviously, you're looking at it from where you are now, and obviously you can tell, how you thought about it then and stuff like that, and just elaborate on that. So, whoever wants to jump in and go first, take the reins.
Ladies. No, okay.
One of the white tees want to go, or give it to control room?
One of the white tees. Jesus Christ.
I think the lines are very blurred. Like I came from a household where it was very normal shit. We didn't get beat as bad as my parents got beat. You know,
Mm.
so we didn't look at it as child abuse. But today, niggas will call DCF on you real fast. Like the things that I'll never forget. For example, I'm at my aunt Rosie's house, and I'm with my cousin Mikey, Monet, Ty, Dooney, and we're outside with like some kids in our neighborhood, and we had a cookout recently, and the grill had they dumped the coal on the side of the crib, so we was outside playing, and we had like this strong coal, and we was playing with the coal. We got it all on our hands and shit. And when we came in the house, my aunt, when we started to go wash our hands, she was like, "What the hell is that on your hands?" I was playing with the coal, or no, what is that on your hands? And we said we were playing with the coal. She spazzed on us. Everybody line up. I'm talking about 6 kids in the living room. Line the fuck up. Everybody hands out. She just go down the line, whap, 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 like whooping everybody hands. And like, not that like, none. I don't hate my auntie Rosie for that. You know what I mean? But that was my normality. That was my reality. That was how like we got disciplined when I was a kid. Today, I feel like, yeah, they probably have her in the bottom of the jail. You know, they'll treat her worse than some niggas out here cops shooting people.
That's a fact.
Well, they treat everybody worse than cops shooting people.
Yeah.
Facts. And they pull this nigga over for having an air freshener in his car. Like he can't smell good.
Dog.
Bro.
One of my
Fucked up, cuz.
I'm not even get into that, but I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, that's another topic that we could definitely go into.
That's another day, but
yeah, that's a whole podcast or 3. That's a lot of content.
That's a fact. But no, I don't know. You continuing your thought or no?
No, I feel like it's been on the person. I don't necessarily think I'm gonna beat my kids. If I do, it probably be my son if he really wild out,
right?
You know, sexually assault somebody or vandalize some shit or really like steal some shit from. It gotta. The punishment has to be justified.
Punishment gotta fit the crime.
Exactly, they gotta fit. I'm not gonna just be beating my kids because they did something wrong. I can think of a lot more ways to get my point across than beating them. But I don't necessarily think beating is child abuse. I think the beatings that we got when we was little today would be considered child abuse.
I agree.
But I've had my chest caved.
That shit worked though, right?
Oh, Eugene, tell me, I ain't about to lie though. Eugene's to tell me some wild stories. Nigga, it sound like your dad was slapping the shit out you, nigga.
Yeah,
nigga sound like he was. Nigga, shut the fuck up.
He like
slapping the shit out you, nigga.
Yeah, he was.
That nigga, man, that nigga was a bully.
But that's what happens, cause like you gotta realize, like now I kind of figured the structure, like the family structure, a little bit more, just because I'm in a position of being like a father and also, I guess you could say the leader of the household, however you want to call it. But
that nigga.
Yeah, you kind of gotta understand, like, yo, when somebody step out of line, like everybody feel like they can step out of line. So you gotta kind of put them back in play. Like, I don't want to make an example of you, but if not, I'm gonna have to round the whole
crew.
I'm gonna have to round the whole crew up. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go gather the entire flock again because you stepped out of line. So I understand it. Was it overboard a lot of times? Yes, it was.
Damn,
but...
someone getting a beating right now.
Nah, he tripped. Oh, that's
real, man. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. He
Nigga said case in point.
No,
man, it sound like the switch is over there, nigga. It sound like the switch is over there.
Excited, man. You watching that Coco Melon? You know that latest.
Oh yeah.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna just mute my shit. Hold up. I'll get back to it. God damn.
I mean, that shit kind of worked though, right? Like I got my ass whooped nonstop. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I'm still too early in parenting to know if I'm ever gonna whoop ass. But yeah, I grew up getting my ass whooped, and I don't know. I don't think it's for every child. So for every situation, I don't think probably should get beaten, or for every child. But like I said, it works for some. I don't know if that's the route I want to take for my child. It's too early to tell. It's too early.
Yeah, man.
Control room.
I just feel like, me personally, I feel like I would have been a better person if I wasn't getting my ass whooped when I was younger.
Really?
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I feel like I'm angrier than normal because of getting my ass beat and shit by my mom when I was younger, honestly. Like, me personally, like, I used to be afraid of my mom at one point. I used to be really afraid. I just remember, like, I'll come home after like middle school, like open up the door, be at the house by myself. Mom comes home at like 5:30, and just anytime I just heard that car pull up, I was just traumatized. Like, yo, what's she gonna say next? What's she gonna do next? And it was always some shit. And I'm just like, God damn, like, nah.
Just her presence was unsettling.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, like, it was conquering. Like, her whole demeanor was mad domineering, like, all around. And shit, at the time I couldn't get with it. I was, and also that's what makes me really very, very rebellious. Like, very, very stubborn, rebellious, like, just everything. And I remember when what happened?
No, I was just saying I can relate, but yeah, I was just trying to.
Yeah, it was just one of those things, man. Like, I just know if I have kids, like, I know, like, Kayshawn, you Damon, you Daniel, you guys got kids and stuff like that. Um, for the people coming up now, things are a lot different. But I know for me, like, when I have kids, I'm not doing them the way I was getting done. I ain't gonna lie. Now, in some situations, it did help. It kept me grounded, but overall, psychologically, I just don't think that was it.
I mean, to be fair, what's up? No, you're good there.
No. Go ahead. I was gonna branch off what he said, but I'm gonna let you get your thought out.
No, that was kind of how I felt about, like, that's how I kind of feel like about, like, negative feedback, or so, not negative feedback, but like overly
reinforcement.
critical. Huh?
You talking about when we have talking about like negative reinforcement versus
Yeah,
reinforcement?
exactly. I think it has like long-term psychological effects, even if it may get immediate results or short-term results. I think that in the long run, it may do more damage. It's kind of one of those things that you don't see the negative until like later on, and you be like, oh shit, maybe that was a bad idea, but you got the results right away. So it's kind of like, well, this shit is working, so let me keep doing it. I feel like that the same way with getting your ass whooped, where that shit works for at first, and then fucking years down, you see the repercussions, and you're like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. And then by then, it's just like all this work to fucking undo all that shit and all that like trauma. But you get.
I just think it was one of those quick fix type of things. Like, or at least my mom, she would just on some, let me get you on some quick fix shit. This is gonna work temporarily, but then, like you were saying, damn, like, I just feel like it created a lot of long-term negatives.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that shit was, man, my mom, she used to beat the shit out of all of us. My older sister too. What? Used to slap the shot her to grab her by a fucking weave, sling her. I seen some wild shit. But
bro, I got immune to the ass whoopings at one point. I must have got calluses or something, because I remember one day my mom, she started whooping my ass. I started crying before because it was just like habitual. You know, the belt comes out and you just start crying, and then she whooped my ass, and I'm like, yo, like, hold on, this shit didn't even hurt. I'm used to this shit. And that's when, yeah, then your stepdad comes in, and then the enforcer, them shits fucking hurt.
That's when I stopped getting beatings. Actually, I was 13. I got my last whooping when I was 13. I was at school, and I might have, Dan and Mugga may or may not know this story. Long story less long. One of my it's like PA class. It's class, but we was outside and we was playing flag football. But he broke it down into like 6v6. It was smaller games, so like 2 teams are on and 2 teams are off. And my game had just finished, so I'm on the sideline. my homegirl Sarah, never forget her. She had a Walkman. She had like a CD Walkman, and I asked her if I could use it while she was playing because her team went on. She was like, "Yeah." And my best friend at the time, my nigga Steven, shout out Steve, he heard her, must have heard her, and he took it before I got it. So when I went over to the side to go grab the shit, he was antagonizing me. He had it in his hand. I'm just like, Steve, like, give me the shit. Like, she said I could rock with it. And he wouldn't give it to me. And I got tight. I got fucking tight, right? So I'm like cussing at him and doing all this shit. I'm like cussing my boy out. And I took his jacket. He was sitting on his pickup truck. It was like a school truck that like shovel snow or whatever the fuck it did, but just had like the school shit on it. And his jacket was on it. I took his jacket off the hood and I slammed it right behind me.
Oh shit, he was about to come for your ass, nigga.
Not even. So he was sitting on the hood of the car and I took his jacket and I slammed it behind me. The person who was actually standing behind me was my father. Ha 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 ha. My father was standing right behind me, bro. The whole time I'm 13. I'm like, fuck out of here, you stupid ass.
Oh no.
Your dad had a belt on like this.
No funny shit. I did just like
on his hand, just like
I
ready for your
like
ass.
Grabbed it and I slammed it. But so the nigga, he was like, yo, your grades was good. And I heard some shit about you at school. And I came to school to pull up on you and give you props. And I come outside and I catch you. And I come outside and I catch you doing this. He was like, he touched
Fuck
me.
them props.
Now he dapped me up. He's like, I'll see you when you get home. I go to the crib. You know I'm shaking, right? You know I'm shook, bro. I'm shook. It's all imminent in my mind. And the nigga act completely normal. Don't touch me. He don't bring it up. No nothing. The days go by. Nigga, I go on summer break. No funny shit. In the summer break, my cousin LaDante is staying at my house. My sister's at my house. We watching movies. Out of nowhere, random evening. Eugene. I'm like, yes. He's like, come downstairs. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, yeah, keep watching the movie. I'll be right back. I go. Our back porch on the first floor was like enclosed, so it was detached from the house. Have you ever been to Ashton House, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
You know how Ashton back porch is?
Yeah.
That's how our shit is. That's how it was. And he was standing on the back porch with the belt in his hand. Random. So I done forgot about the shit. I forgot about the shit.
What the fuck?
It's at the end of summer break. I forgot about it. Bro.
He wanted to catch your ass slipping.
He wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna go into next
slipping.
school year on that bullshit.
That's what he wanted to do. He was waiting. He was timing that shit. He knew I'm gonna whoop his ass on this date.
Nigga,
I'm gonna get his ass.
He whooped my ass, and I thugged it out. Like to Damon's point, like I was like, like yeah, had a
nigga, what's good? What's good?
And I was the last beating I ever got.
Damn.
I never got a beating after that day.
That's crazy. My man waited until he had a bad day to give you a bad day.
That ass. No, he did. That's exactly what it seemed like. But to his point, I feel like those things have lasting effects on your children. You know, those things.
Hell yeah, dude. You remember that story? Shit, you remember that story to a T. So you know that shit was like profound, and your memory bank. Like you always remember those legendary ass whoopings. I swear, like, oh man, I remember my mom whooped my ass in the car, and she was driving the shit. Like she like left hand on the what's that? What was that 2 Chainz line? Like left hand on the steering wheel or right hand?
No, don't go to down. No.
But yeah. in that case, in her case,
the right hand was on something else, bro.
In
In
her case, her left hand was on that steering wheel, nigga, and she was just bang, just eating my ass. I was like, oh my goodness, mother. Why are you doing this?
So this is not.
She couldn't even wait until we got. That's how you know her emotions was going on crazy. She couldn't even wait. She didn't even want to think it out. She was swerving on the road in the yellow lines and doing all that type of shit. I'm just like, God damn, lady. Like, I didn't know it was that bad that you had to do this right on the road. We could have got home and you could have done all this shit. Well, shit, we could have got home, been in the driveway. You could have did this shit in the driveway.
Right.
We didn't have to wait until we got in the fucking house. And she didn't give a fuck. She didn't give a goddamn.
She had to start using her hands so the anger could calm down. Because if she would have waited until she got home, who knows? You might not be here today.
Right.
It sounded like you was trying to kill her.
To be fair, I think a lot of what causes a lot of the issue is that I feel like a lot of those beatings do come out of like frustration and like negative emotion. It's kind of like energy transference. Like, let's say I'm frustrated, and then even if I don't necessarily beat my child, even if I'm just like yelling and passing that energy on, I feel like even that is still like the same type of shit. You just passing on that negative energy. So I mean, it just depends on the state of mind. I kind of like the idea. If I'm not saying I'm gonna start whooping ass, but it was an interesting concept that Eugene, you say your dad, he didn't beat you that day. It was kind of like, if anything, that's, again, I don't even know if I'm gonna do it, but it seems to be like that's a good time to like cool off, you process what's going on, and see if maybe do I still want to beat her ass, or like, because I have a daughter, I still want to beat her ass, like, and if I do, maybe it'll come from a place of like objection, being objective, but who knows? I'm too early in parenting.
I have a
I
question.
don't know if I'm gonna like. Go ahead, Mug. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm conflicted. Like, if I like to say, if I have all daughters, I'll never beat my kids. I'll never beat my daughter.
Oh, I was gonna. So just to play off the daughter thing, actually, I was gonna say, Dan and Dame, do you guys feel like if you guys had a son, you guys would treat your son differently from how you raise your daughter?
Duh.
I know some
Yeah.
people don't think like that. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
Then they're nuts. You can't
Duh,
raise.
how? I'm curious on the duh, like.
You can't
Certain
raise.
things-
You can't treat your child the same. You cannot raise them the exact same.
Not the exact same, but I think same core values. So I don't understand.
Well,
But we're talking
hold on.
about beatings and child abuse and shit like that, right? So we're not talking about like core values.
That just
We're
branched
talking
out
about
to a whole
discipline.
new- Right.
Yeah, but discipline. You're saying you're not going to discipline your daughter the same way you discipline your son.
Yeah, if I punch
I
my
don't
son in
know.
the chest, I'm not gonna punch my daughter in the chest.
But I probably wouldn't punch my son in the chest then.
Yeah, but let's say I found out my son spit on a girl at school. I'm a fold his fucking chest. Best believe I am. If my daughter do that shit, there's no way I'm punching my daughter.
Well, what's the difference between like? There's a lot of. If he spit on a nigga, is that okay?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's different. That's where the double standards come from, though. Like there is double standards and stuff
No,
like that.
it's also about like a man hitting a woman. Why
Right.
would I hit my daughter? Why would I
Right.
put my bare hands
So
on my
women
daughter?
I mean,
hit
it's a
niggas
double
then.
standard, though. That's a
The
double
women
standard.
can hit men.
No, how is it a double standard? In no scenario in life is it okay for a man to hit a woman.
It's not saying that it's okay, but there is a difference in terms of how wrong something is compared to the other.
Yeah.
Right.
If a woman hit a man, if a woman hit a man, is it the feeling of it is different.
Oh, you're seeing that? Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all are talking about y'all are flip flopping right now.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, like Moga, what you're saying is completely different than what Eugene is talking about.
Right.
Oh no, I was just talking about what I was referring to, and then Eugene was saying he thought I was saying something.
Anyway, to get back on topic, I'm gonna just say this. Whether you have a son or daughter, I don't really think it's about 100% how you treat one or the other. I think you'll realize that they actually treat you differently. You know what I mean? Like I've met a lot of different parents in the last year, 2 years or whatever. And it's like, yo, everyone that has a son has similar stories. Everyone that has a daughter has similar stories. So I feel like it's not just a bias thing on the parent, because you're responding to how this smaller human being is acting. You know what I'm saying? And from my experience, boy is just wild as fuck. So
Well, I mean that's
Like,
kind of
your
general
daughter
sense
fuck
stuff.
around and do some Montana Fishborn shit. You know what I mean? Your daughter.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Listen. There's a scenario in my family right now where there is a very young woman in my family, albeit my extended family is still my family. She's not even a young woman. She's a girl. She's a kid.
Right.
And
Right.
she's doing a lot of adult things and she's
Mm.
not listening. She's leaving the house and she is picking locks and she is missing for days
You don't think she should need to get punched in the chest?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I think she needs more mental love than just getting punched, because that don't make that shit don't make shit better, honestly.
You know,
It
she's
depends on the person.
That's it. Yeah, that too.
It's always gonna be dependent upon the person, because some people gonna respond to it differently than others,
Right.
regardless.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, me personally, if I have a son and a daughter, I'm not disciplining them the same.
No
You
way.
can't really discipline them the same.
I think
As
it's
far
less
as
than-
like, as far as like, if you're physically gonna touch your children, you can't discipline your son the same way you discipline your daughter. We're talking about like discipline as far as how long you're grounded for, and if you have to not have phone privileges and all that shit, then yeah, that's a different. That's different. But
In
I'm talking
terms-
about like, what happened?
And I was just gonna say, so basically, like physical abuse, you're not gonna do it the same. But
Well, I'm not gonna abuse.
or not. I'm sorry. Let me.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was about to say-
Let me.
My fault.
Let me take out that word.
That
Abuse.
That
Let me take out that.
I know what you meant.
You know what I meant,
I
though,
just had to clarify.
Right. Abuse is the wrong word, but
I want to clarify too that like that's not to say I'm gonna beat any of my children. If there's some outstanding circumstance where I do decide to put hands on my children, it would be my son. It would never be my daughter. Maybe I grab her shoulders.
I wouldn't beat my daughter, honestly.
I could never see.
Nah.
No.
I feel like Mugga just threw DCF a alley-oop. You feel me? I don't know how I feel about that. I ain't talking no more. I plead the fifth.
So I wanted to ask earlier when Mugga was talking, he said he felt like he would have been a better person if he didn't get his ass whooped the way he did. So I want to ask y'all, do y'all feel that way about yourselves? Do y'all think ultimately it helped y'all, hurt y'all? Like, what do you think?
I think
Interesting one, huh?
I think at first what I'm gonna look at it is like I could take it for what it is, and I am the way I am today because of what happened to me, essentially. So it's kind of hard to again invalidate all that, and I do see some.
For sure.
It still taught a lesson regardless. So I don't know if I'd be a better person. I could just say I'm gonna be a different person, and who knows if that's better or worse. Again, maybe it's still too early to tell if the repercussions were good or bad, but now that I know that it did affect me at least to a degree negatively, and I'm working on recovering from that, maybe in the long run overall it'll be a good thing. Who knows? But I'll be a different person. I don't know if it'll be better, personally.
I'm saying, like, for me, it's more so like the way I look at life is it's never really about your circumstances. It's all about how you respond to it. So, like, you feel what I mean? You could be someone that was, all right, for example, DMX. He was in a fucked up position for a lot of his life, and he became a legend. Versus people that had it better than him that you could forget about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't forget someone that's like that because he rose to the occasion and he took the good with the bad and he found the good that was in the bad. So I don't feel like if I didn't get beat or disciplined or anything like that, I'd be any better than I am, because my response to it was never like, oh, woe was me. I never really I wasn't the one. What was that?
You never adopted the victim mentality.
Yeah, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something that's in me. So don't get me wrong. I don't feel like I'm gonna beat my son. Like, maybe we might get into a little quarrel here and there, like when he's older. But like, maybe a slight scuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nigga.
I might have to take him to the back and give him the gloves. Like, yo, you feel me? Like, it's different though. You gotta make it productive. I feel like it shouldn't be aimless. It's like, I feel like aimless beatings are kind of like aimless arguments. Like, nothing gets settled in the end. It's just two pissed off people still. One person won, one person lost, and that's really it. Like, That's fucking dumb. So I wouldn't do that. But like, all right, if it's going to be a situation where he want to get his frustration out and we got to throw the gloves on, we can throw the gloves on. I'm going to light his ass up. We're going to go back in the house and watch football. Like, what you talking about? You feel what I mean? Like, that's going to be that. So, and I feel like that's the best way for me to do it because I don't want to keep on recycling the same traits that I know from my past. Like, to touch on what Gene was saying, how you have the young female that's doing all kinds of grown things. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is, all right, boom, when I was younger and I started doing grown shit, I started getting locked the fuck out the house. But now, is that the right answer for this particular person? It might not be. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but that's why I was thinking, like, why is it separated by boy and girl? Like, I won't beat my girl. What if, like, that's the method that she responds to?
I get that, but I feel like,
Outside of,
is
there any situation in life where it's okay for a man to put his hands on a woman?
What if her mom beats her ass then?
Ooh.
Is it?
And that's different.
Yeah,
we're talking about you. We're talking about you and your daughter.
Okay.
Right. I just feel like it's a slippery slope just because, like,
I see. I understand the dynamic that you're basically.
Yeah. Like it gets kind of crazy because now if it's just like, yo, it becomes an acceptance thing. It's like, all right, well, my father used to hit me, like, so it's okay for my boyfriend to do so and my husband to do so. Like, you don't want to go down that road, I wouldn't think.
So let me flip it. Let me flip it again. You know, I like frolicking in the fray, as Eugene would say. But fuck, he's the shit, by the way. But so do you think that a mother beating their son's ass is basically like doing that same pathology that you were referring to about, like, the reason why you don't want to beat your daughter is because you don't want her to accept that type of behavior later on? But could that not be flipped and said to the sons, especially when in a society where you're right, like, women are penalized the same way as men in terms of, like, domestic abuse? So, like, if
I'm saying, for that, to be honest with you, like, I know this might not be politically correct, which I'm perfect. Podcast is politically incorrect. I feel like that's reality, bro. Like, keep it 100. If a woman puts hands on you, you got to walk away. Like, if you tell a police officer, hey, she punched me in my face, she's not going to jail. Right, she's not going to jail, bro. Like, that's reality. That's not, it has nothing to do with, all right, well, damn, well, I don't want my son to accept
that double standards in our reality.
Right, that's real life. Like,
that's just how it is.
Yo, you don't. We could keep going here. It's a rabbit hole, but I can keep.
I'm with it, but I'm just saying, like, yo, if you bring it to that extent, put it like this. I've even seen this happen to people that are wealthy, dog. All right, so boom, when I was living in New York for that stint, and I was working in the luxury apartment complex on East 80th. So there was a guy. He had a 2-bedroom apartment. He was paying $7,500 a month for it, just because they had concierge and all that other shit. So boom, he had that. He had a drop top AMG. He had everything somebody in our shoes that, you know, really valued material things would want, I would assume. So he was big on getting what they call them mail order brides, or, like, you know, you pay somebody to come from another area or another country to come see you and be with you for like a few weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. So he was big on that shit. Mind you, he had bread. He got one from I believe it was Germany. She was a raging alcoholic. So after the first week, they had gotten into a fight.
Who won?
Why did they get into a fight?
I said, who won? No, I'm just kidding.
Who won? Oh, he lost. He lost. I'm gonna tell you that now. The reason why he lost is he got put out of his apartment by someone that's not paying a bill and is not on the lease.
I see.
So when the police came, even he had put hands on him, and her blood alcohol level was like through the roof. You feel me? he still got put out of his home for that simple reason that it was a woman. You know what I mean? You
can't make this shit up, man.
Can't.
It's getting crazy now because
can't make this motherfucking shit up.
I feel like when Mugga says it like that, I feel like he feels like it shouldn't be that way.
Who, me?
Mugga.
Oh no, well, I got on okay, to be in all fairness now, and this is why I said it's gonna get kind of crazy, is because now when we're fighting for equality, right, in certain areas, now it gets like, well, then we have to be held accountable the same way, don't you think?
But it's not, accountability is not applicable across the board. Like,
I think if she hits a man, she should be accountable. It's simple as that.
Well,
you're saying that she should be accountable the exact same way, right?
Oh, I didn't say the same way. I said there has to be some accountability. Why can it, like, how, if that is, do you think it's wrong to hit somebody? I didn't mention male or female. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it wrong? Yeah.
I'm not saying women. I'm not saying they should get off scot-free. I'm saying it should definitely be different. I'm happy that it's different for niggas than it is for women, because I've never dated a woman who's bigger than me, or who, if she would have hit me, everything she got, it would have hurt me the same way it would hurt her if I clobber her shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she just would not win against me. She wouldn't, bro. So if I'm
so basically the man is stronger.
Here we go with this shit again. Disagree with that.
This nigga still trying to drag you into old episodes.
No, but I see why Keenan is going there, because it's like a dynamic. It's a very touchy dynamic for the simple fact is, because as a man, what happens when your girlfriend, your significant other, is the aggressor? Like, you just take the L.
Too. I'm saying if you punch her on her face and she punch you in your face, your penalty should be harsher than hers. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be penalized.
Right.
I'm saying your penalty should be worse. That's all I'm saying.
So if she punches you and you punch her back, it's the same.
Your penalty should be harsher than hers. Yes.
I don't know. That's tough. That's tough.
Me,
not for me.
I definitely think I think the man's penalty should be definitely harsher, but that's because I play on the biological standpoint that men are stronger than women. But that's just me.
There still has to be some sort of accountability.
It's just science. That's all. It's just science.
Does anyone ever disagree with him when he says that?
Who? Mo? As far as the men being stronger than women?
Yeah.
It's like
almost like he's like trying to like tell us and we're disagreeing. Like, I don't
not us. Not us.
Ooh.
It's okay. We're gonna get Mugga strong, bitch. She's gonna fuck you up every day.
You should come to my gym, Keenan. Some of them women are like bigger than
nigga. I do not want to see women that's fucking injecting themselves with testosterone, my nigga.
We're gonna get you a Big Shirley.
I ain't trying to see Big Shirley, my nigga. I seen Big Mama. I don't want to see Big Shirley, my nigga. I seen Big Mama, but I don't want to see Big Shirley, my nigga. That's all I'm trying to say.
About to get Keenan a Joanna man.
I don't want to get too far off the topic, but like my thing is just this: like, regardless of how much you're penalized, I like putting myself in his shoes. Imagine you dating someone, you bring them back to the crib, you think shit is lovely, she snuff you, call the police on you, and get you escorted out of your luxury apartment. Like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, that's wild.
That shit
just couldn't imagine.
We don't see like
that's 100% wild.
What can we do? Like, but I think that's part of the lack of accountability. Like, if you're not holding,
I mean, that nigga also like bought a girl online.
Right. I get it.
Is that an excuse?
I mean, it ain't like you gotta vet her.
But is that an excuse, bro? Like, I bought her online, so I guess I deserve to get punched in the face.
I get it, but he paid him full. He paid him
full. This wasn't in the contract.
He used the wrong service, man. He was on the wrong website. So that sounds like.
My nigga
For
said he paying in full.
Paid the tip. You heard 20%. He a big baller. But nah,
maybe,
like
maybe he
when you say-
didn't
when
pay
you
in
say
full.
funny shit
Maybe
like
that's the
that,
issue.
when you
maybe
say
not.
that, we need a button on it that go season. And it got a little reverb on it. It's like it's right out.
Real shit. We got to get the soundboard going though. Real talk. Come on, Mug, work on that, bro. I see your room. Fuck, man.
I'm pulling the strings in this motherfucker.
For real, this shit.
We
Wow.
don't even need an engineer. We got an engineer on the podcast. It's crazy.
That's a fact, bro. Like I don't know, dog. Like I just feel like that's a crazy ass. You got 2 bottles of wine there. What are you complaining about? You can have a bottle of wine. Don't drink my shit. Anyway. Nah, bro. It's just I don't know. This shit was just wild to me. Like I never. What you mean? This is empty. So no, all I'm saying is she keeps talking. I don't know why she keeps talking. Anyway, so my thing is like, yo, prior to working there, I never knew those type of things happen in like I don't want to really say white America, but like I never knew that wealthy people had those kind of issues. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always when you in the hood, yo, if I had money, this wouldn't be so bad. If I had money, my problems would go away. If I had money, this, that, and the third.
More
But
money,
now
more
I'm seeing
problems,
people that are,
bucko.
I
More money,
suppose if you
different
buy
problems.
people online, but like, come on, bro. Like,
But that's his fault. He bought that
all
problem.
he did buy that problem. You're right. That's like buying a bad car. I get it, but shit. Feel me? You can get that shit fixed. This nigga got thrown out his house.
Are we excusing that
You
shit?
can get it
though?
fixed too.
Come
Buy a
on, he
lawyer.
got kicked out his own house. He got snapped and kicked out his own house.
That situation is fucked up. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrible.
definitely use the system against him.
I think that's what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
I said buy a lawyer.
Bro, you gotta have somebody on retainer, man. If you can afford $7,500 a month, you need to have someone on retainer. No cap.
That's a fact. Yo, I think he was Jewish anyway. He could have probably called like a cousin or some shit. He been straight.
Low key,
No, come on.
low key, if I could afford $7,500 a month, as soon as she started to get crazy and seemed like she wasn't gonna leave, I probably would have left anyway.
Word. But nah, like when I tell you it was bad, he was throwing out his shit for like 2 weeks. Like I saw him pulling up in the AMG drop top with like half his clothes in the back seat. Shit was bad. Like it wasn't no short stint, like 1 or 2 days. I'm out. When she get out, then I'm out. Like no,
Damn.
Yeah.
nobody was on his side. No one was on his side. After 2 weeks of being in a hotel that he had to pay for, and he still had to pay his rent at that spot, and he probably still had to pay her fee for being there.
yeah.
This nigga was pulling back up with his clothes in the back seat. Like that's crazy.
Where's
That
the
is-
accountability though? That's what. Come on.
What happened?
I said, where's the accountability, man?
There
Like,
was no accountability at all, and I understand that.
Like he didn't put hands on her. He put hands on her.
No, supposedly no. When she came back down, she looked straight, and he was a bigger dude. Like if he'd have put hands on her, we would have known. We'd have known. Like we would have definitely knew. Like she'd have fell through the floor type shit. Like he was a big dude. For real. But nah, like I don't know. Like from there, that always stuck with me. So it's just like, yo, like if I'm ever in a situation, like I don't know, like bro, like I would never think that the police is going to take my side, especially not only being a man, but being a black man. Like, come on, nigga, like they shoot us for fun. Like, stop it. They're not taking a side for nothing.
Yeah, man. They don't give a fuck about us. Me and Eugene was looking at some disturbing.
And said, "Oh, I shot him."
Yeah.
Oh, the shit from the other day.
My nigga, I've never shot a taser in my life.
Right,
You know what? I know for a fact though,
right.
that shit don't weigh the same amount as a gun.
Oh, that's offending.
That shit don't even fuck the weight. That shit don't even feel like a motherfucking gun.
That shit ain't even the same color.
Even when you draw it though,
Like,
when you draw it and
same
you
color.
extend it, there's no way.
Is it even in the same place?
What I
Bro.
learned is that depending on the state, there's
Yeah,
it could be
this
on
was
either side.
right. So certain states or certain counties or however they break down the districts, but you'll have to have taser on the left, gun on the right, or whatever the law is. But some places they're both on the right or both on the left.
No, so I can get a little convoluted. Like a,
No.
Not at
oh
all.
no, I'm not giving him. I'm not helping the motherfucker. I'm just saying that could get a little convoluted. But in that case, no. The niggas knew.
Bro.
Yeah,
Mug, imagine picking up a fifth array enough versus a beer can.
Exactly.
What?
They're the same.
it all tastes the same to me.
It does?
Nigga,
This is crazy.
You all
daughter,
fucked up.
They must be off the race.
Yeah, man. Dame is faded. Like, you sure you here, bro?
Yeah, he put caffeine in his Ray and that.
That's a fact. You
I
gotta
didn't drink today, bro. I didn't drink today. I'm productive today.
My boy
I'm
got
not
the
gonna pass out drunk.
my boy
today.
Dan got the Will Smith shirt on from 1998.
Oh no.
Mhm.
That said you got the
Chilling. My boy is chilling. He's like against the wall. Dave is chilling.
Mhm.
Yo, Dave
Oh,
funny
boy.
as hell.
bro. I don't know, bro. I don't like we said before. I don't even want to talk on that topic too much.
It's
'cause
tough. Yeah, I mean it's a
That's
rabbit hole.
That's
Dan, it's
another
crazy. It's
that's
crazy.
a whole nother episode.
It's crazy how all this shit stem from mental, physical abuse and all that other shit.
It's all relative.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Is.
It all ties in, I feel.
Yeah, it really
Man.
does.
Like my boy said last time, everything come full circle.
Yeah.
That shit gonna,
Sure.
that
For
shit
sure.
gonna come back.
For real.
Like to haunt your ass, nigga. Spooky.
Yeah, it's straight, man. You just gotta try to break the cycle as much as possible or just shift it a little bit, little by little. As we go, we get better. Like he said, like Gene has said, he's just like, yo, he didn't get whooped how our parents got whooped. Like, of course, me neither. I got hit with some shit. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't get them extension cords in the bathtub though. You know,
Nah.
Ooh,
What?
nigga,
But I'm saying,
that's
like-
another. God damn, nigga, that's another
Yeah.
level.
so I got
Exactly.
beaten, but I didn't get
Another
them,
level.
We got beat, but we ain't get killed.
them Crooklyn beatings.
Did you die though?
We didn't get killed. We almost got there, but not quite.
There's some of
But
my
not-
Spanish. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I kind of feel like that kind of has something to do with slavery. Like, it's as far removed as we are. Like, I feel like the generations further away from slavery, the less we do with the beatings and shit like that. Like, you feel me? Like, once we start to see, like, yo, that's not civilized, bro. Like, you shouldn't be hitting someone with a fucking extension cord in the shower.
Why
So
the-
it's like an advancement, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an interesting take. So the
I
farther
never
we
thought
get,
that way.
the farther we get away from slavery, the less and less you'll see that type of physical abuse. I actually never thought of it that way. That's actually interesting.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, yo,
Yes,
it's like
it
the
is.
mentality starts to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Hit
if
somebody
all
with an
right,
extension cord is kind of slavish.
that's slavery as fuck. What?
Yeah, you
So
get
kind of.
no.
That is.
You'll get your back cut up, nigga. Your back.
Nigga, what?
Especially
Yeah.
especially a child.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And that's supposed
That's
to
not not normal, honestly. When I hear people getting hit with extension cords and all types of switches and
bro.
down
when-
south, I heard they get it real bad.
I got the switch though. I used to have to pick my switch.
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
Dame was saying,
Choose
he
your
would cry,
weapon, nigga.
like Dame was saying, he would like cry before the whooping. When
Yeah.
when my grandmother would say, "Go pick me a switch," I
mm.
like,
So
And you feel like if you pick the softest,
You
like,
know she would get you if you picked
no,
this
no.
up.
Even if you pick the softest
Oh,
one,
shit.
she gonna fuck you up even more.
she was
Right.
sending me back out because we had an apple
Oh.
tree in my backyard, bro. She was sending me back out, bro.
nah, bro. See, but that's the thing. Like I said, is people kind of retracting back to what they what's been engraved in them, which is crazy because it's like, you know how everyone say, yo, when I grow up, I'm never going to be like my parents. And then they end up exactly the fuck like their parents.
Mhm.
And they don't even realize
know.
it too.
But
That's
it's what no, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, boom, all right, well, I have a decision to make. Either I'm going to take the same path that they took, and I'm gonna beat my kid's ass. I'm gonna work a fucking 9 to 5 all my life. I'm gonna actually get 2 jobs and still be broke, or I'm gonna try to find another way. You feel what I mean? Like,
nah, that's some real. That's some real dilly shit. I ain't gonna lie.
that's where I'm at with it. And I'm like, yo, all right, so boom, if this is the situation, honestly, the way that they were living, I understand it, and I know it was more so on survival, but that's not what I want for myself. So
you
I'm
can't
saying,
survive. You can't thrive in survival mode, man.
that's what I'm saying. You can survive, but you're gonna be fucking.
Your adrenaline's always gonna be pumping every single second, trying to fucking stay afloat.
Or you
You're gonna be on the hamster wheel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's my thing. Like, I always pride myself in not being a nigga that was like, yo, I can't wait till this fucking stimulus hit. Like, I don't give a fuck about
exactly. Yo, you know how many times I was telling? Yo, I was telling, there's some real shit too. Yo, okay, that's some real shit too. Because you know how many people, even at my job, coming to my job, talking about I'm waiting for the stimulus, I can't wait. And oh, I didn't get my stimulus yet. Oh, you got yours yesterday. Damn, I didn't get mine yet. I'm jealous. I'm mad. And it's like, who gives a fuck about this? $1,400.
Bro,
Fuck is $1,400. If you crying about $1,400 like that, something is wrong.
That don't mean something's wrong. That just means that they don't know. They don't know what money is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what makes it, and that's wrong. And that is wrong.
I'm saying that's life though.
You as a grown adult,
understand this. The average black household's fucking, what was the income? I think they were like $14 net worth or some shit like that, versus the average white household was like
I think around 300. We fall into consumerism.
What was that?
I think sometimes we fall in the pattern of consumerism. Like, we fall into the capitalist trap. Like, I mean, I see a lot of, I see a lot of black people making good money, but it's a lot of it is not.
It's a lot of things that factor into it.
It's a lot.
Consumerism is definitely part of the problem, though.
It's a huge problem, I think. It's a huge problem. Like,
I kind of feel like, man, it's not just that, bro. It's from the beginning too. Like, understand, if we're just getting out of the mud and we've been starting in a negative for the past 4 generations, now we're finally getting to, all right, our household is worth $14 net worth. Like, that's crazy to me, for one. But for two, it's like, all right, boom, we finally out of the hole. Like, it's going to take a lot more for us to learn what we need to learn in order to, you know, understand financial literacy and things of that nature, invest our money, and actually take the money we make from our.
Don't want to hear it.
What was that?
They don't want to hear it. They want to see quick, temporary.
Right? Yeah, I thought with this. Like,
that's the black household. That's what it's all about. That's
I say it all the time. Like, yo, like,
I'm not rolling with that one.
That's why black people fucked up, my nigga.
Oh,
I say some of the stuff like
that's why.
Like,
look, think about what you're saying.
Black people messed up.
Think about what you're saying. Think about what you niggas are agreeing to, and then look at every face. Look at every face on this call.
Yeah, but I'm
right.
We shooting 100% from the floor.
Right.
The stance for your argument is terrible right now.
No, we're shooting 100% on the floor as these 5 people in the chat. 5 out of 5. I understand that. I'm talking about, and this is why I'm going to speak generally. And if you look at the net worth, I just looked it up. The net worth for black households is fucked up on average.
But that don't prove what you're saying about every black person's perspective.
What do you mean?
I just think some people, put it simply,
perspective and the value of the net worth are not synonymous. But I don't know what you don't.
So are you just talking about? I'm just asking a question. I'm not.
You said that's the problem with black people.
Yes, I'm speaking generally. I'm speaking generally. Black people are fucked up. When I look at
no. So you're saying the problem with black people is that they don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
How does that directly relate to where the household income is?
What you mean? They don't want to hear.
I don't understand. I don't understand that question.
So we're talking about the average value of the black household. You're saying the reason the average value of the black household is $14 because black people always want a quick fix in regards to money.
Right. And
How does that-
it doesn't
how does that
sustain because it doesn't sustain. There's no real
So
value.
how
Real
does-
value is something that
how
has
does-
longevity.
so-
That's
so
why I was
Eugene
bringing
is
up the.
saying- So Eugene is saying, how can you say that that is the perspective of most black people just because that's the average household income? Like that doesn't necessarily relate.
They're not directly correlated.
Yeah.
This is what I think. Let me just put it like that. That's just what I think, and that's why that's the hill I'm gonna stand on.
But what I'm asking, what I'm trying to say is, me looking up the price of tea in China and finding out what that number is doesn't mean anything about like that they can be mutually exclusive. And in this case, they are. Like, how can you that what you're saying is most of the black people prefer get rich quick. Like none of them have perspective on how to get money or how to better their families or how to like.
None. I didn't say none of them. I didn't use that terminology. None of them.
No, I said most.
Okay.
So like most of the black people like don't want to do anything productive with money. They just want to get rich quick.
I'm only going off the data, and yeah, that's why I feel.
But the data doesn't support that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Tell me about your.
I think it's based off my perspective from my view of how I see how black people move.
So if it's based off your perspective, how is it based off the data? They can't be one and the same.
That's why I said I think.
But tell me about the black people that you know, that you
expect. So based stick on to the data or stick to the perspective. Don't mix them.
But what if the data aligns with what his perspective is?
But it doesn't.
That the data is supported by my perspective.
I think we're thinking too deep on that though. Like,
so basically,
explain.
Put it like that.
What you're saying?
I was gonna say he should just explain his perspective, and then he can show how it correlates with the data that he found. If he can't do that, then it's just null and void.
What I'm saying is, when I look at these statistics of how low our net worth is in black households all around, and then when I go around my life and I see the way black people move entirely, I'm using that as my personal direct correlation of why we're so fucked up. I'm not saying it's true. This is just how I'm looking at it. This is how it's represented to me, and this is why we're at this type of data. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is just what my thought process is on it.
I'm inclusive, and I include everybody. Not everybody knows. There's people of all races that fall victim to consumerism. So that's my only goal. I'm not going to limit it to the black community. I think it's a general issue of a lot of people prefer the instant gratification, and they develop poor money habits. I mean,
and the thing is, and that's why so I'm not in other communities like the Asian community, Hispanic community, white community. Let me not speak on the Hispanics, but I'll speak on the Asians, white people. What? But the Asians and the white people, and this is why I say, from my point of view and what I've seen, they have a better financial base and understanding compared to the black community.
That's a fair argument because I could understand that.
I just feel like they have a better infrastructure as far as sharing information than black people, because we get left out, as well as Hispanic communities.
And the thing is, I just want to ask Dan and Gene this question. Do you guys think that I'm saying that it's black people's fault in that aspect with the financial stuff?
No, I think you're trying to play off two different things and make them mutually exclusive when they're not.
I don't see, but hey, you're entitled
to So Keenan,
you're entitled
no, Keenan. So let me ask you a question, because you're saying So the black people in your life, in the perspective that you see, you're saying that they're all about get rich quick, and that's why they're broke, basically.
I didn't say
Is that what you're
all.
saying?
I said
Most. I'm sorry.
majority. The majority.
So
Yes.
majority of the black people you know, they're fucked up because they're all about get rich quick schemes, basically.
I think they're about temporary money foundations. I just don't feel like they
Not rooted in. Okay.
Like what? What's a
But
temporary money foundation?
No, I don't even want to get into semantics. Just simply. So most of the black people you know that are fucked up financially, or they are fucked up financially because of that reason. That's what you're saying.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a temporary based thing in their mind. I don't see them having any type of long. I'm not saying all of them. Like let me just say that again. Not all of them, but from my perspective and where I sit and what I've seen people go through in life, what I watched on social media, just all these things play into some type of role.
so I think
Our thought process is fucked up mentally. That's really where I stand at. And I'm not.
I guess this is where a slavery. I get so there's a lot of distrust. In if we're gonna talk specifically about Black community, there's a lot of distrust towards like the government and the system. I mean, the system was designed against Black people at a point. So to a degree, it's justifiable why people have their we have this skepticism towards a lot of things like banks. It's understandable, like, because this shit happened. There was redlining. There was shit that actually happened that we can look back and say, hey, well, no wonder why we don't trust, you know what I mean, the system. So that's why when we could be presented with the correct information, but there's still that I don't trust the system. You know what I mean? So we're battling. So even if we are confronted with the correct information, we still have skepticism. So it's more than just like,
well, I mean, not across the board.
Education,
right? You can have skepticism, and that doesn't mean like you don't make moves. My skepticism could just make me make smart moves because I'm a skeptic.
Right.
It doesn't mean that like now I'm gonna fail or I'm doomed because of my skepticism. My skepticism could be healthy.
Possibly.
It could be. I see.
I mean, it can go both ways. It can go both ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Skepticism
the way,
both ways. It can make
and
you
the way I look at
timid, but it can also make you. It can get you out of trouble, but it can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like it really has much to do with skepticism, bro. Because it's just like, bro, all right, boom. So I meet a guy that's actually a good dude. He already has the ends on, say, I don't fucking know. He's a financial advisor. So he kind of hips me to what to do with my finances. But now if you have no foundation to stand on, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're not in position to make a move, what the fuck is the information doing for you? You know what I'm saying?
That's part of it too.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, yo, there's a lot of different situations why people are in fucked up positions aside from trying to get rich.
And some of the information isn't for
That's basically what I was trying to allude to.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like the thing is, if everybody you know is trying to get rich quick and nobody got rich, obviously they're not trying to get rich quick. Like that doesn't really make sense to me. But you know what I'm saying? Like I know a bunch of dope dealers. A lot of them niggas is rich. A lot of them niggas is dead. Like, hey, you feel what I mean? Like that's the game you decided to play. I know niggas that rob banks. All right, some of them got off. A lot of them niggas got pinched. That's the game you wanted to play. And that's where you kind of got to go against the grain and against the government and against the law and all that shit. That's when you're risking it all.
High risk, high reward.
What was that? High
risk, high reward.
Basically, for the most part, that's how they look at it. That's not how I look at it. I'm not touching that shit. But nah, like then the other side that I see is like there's a lot of hardworking people in our community that work 9 to 5s and then got a 5 to 10 afterwards because they're trying to make ends meet, and they figure, all right, if I work all these fucking hours, I can stack my money and I can give my kids a better life. But
so you're saying they work harder, but not necessarily smarter.
possibly, I just feel like they work longer and they have no time for themselves or time to build a family infrastructure to actually teach their children better.
Okay, I see what
You
you're
feel
saying.
like that's more so where I'm at. Like they stop valuing family and they more so value having a good solid job because it's paying the bills. Like, bro, none of that shit really matters, like based on the legacy that you leave or how your children feel about you or how your family works. Because there's kids that have everything that they could have ever desired, but the only thing that was missing was their parent. They were always at work.
That's determined upon the person, though. That's not.
Of course.
So you can't, because there's niggas that's gonna work 2 jobs and their kids love them, and there's niggas that work 2 jobs and their kids hate them. It's just how you choose to prioritize your free time and your family and all that shit. So it's definitely about how you prioritize shit. But
let me
I
ask
don't know.
you,
It could go either way.
that person working 2 jobs to support their family, maybe like, are they not doing it for their family essentially too, though?
Are
I
they
mean, they're
not?
not physically
Wait,
present.
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
They can some prioritize their family by saying, I'm gonna work 2-3 jobs. This is how I'm gonna provide, and this is how I can be their best for my family. Maybe they're not the type that could. Maybe they're not like. Maybe that's how they contribute to their family or their household. Not saying that that's something I would want to partake in. It's just maybe that's their contribution. Maybe their family is the priority, and that's how they feel that they best can support their families by working 2-3 jobs. Like
sometimes it could
Hey, sometimes it's
you know,
sometimes
it can just be an absolute, like, I could be a single parent and I have 2 sons and my rent is $1,200 and my one job give me $400 every 2 weeks and that shit is $800 and I need to make this other $400, you know? So I got to go do what I got to do, and hopefully my kids are understanding, and when I do have time with them, I communicate with them that I love them, and some shit just be necessary in the time. And there are situations where the opposite does happen though. It's like niggas be
everything's case by case.
But I still, but to K's point though, I while I say that, I'm gonna say that the presence, being present, being present is important, because like you said, you made a post about it, like the jobs don't care about you, but your family does. Some alluded to that, and I completely agree. I'm just on the flip side. I was just going to say, like, maybe some people, that's how they can best support their family. That's all.
Right. Everything is a case by case basis. There's always different factors that's gonna weigh in from one side or another. So, I mean, you could look at it either way.
Yeah, like all Black people like get rich quick schemes. What happened? I forgot.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just like
big circle. My nigga Mook said all the Black people fell for the Ponzi schemes. That's why they broke.
No.
Nigga, we broke because we've been making minimum wage for the past 20 years. What are you talking about?
Working way more hours than the niggas paying us.
Word.
But I will say, okay, so, and this is why I say it's on my perspective, but there are a lot of niggas I know are just lazy as fuck too. A lot of them that I know, they lazy as fuck.
You know what's crazy?
They lazy. They horrible. Like they horrible with everything.
Do you know?
I'm gonna go into it, but they.
Do you know what's crazy though? The craziest thing is, if those same lazy niggas was in a higher position, they'd still be lazy niggas making more money.
Cause there's lazy ass white niggas doing not shit and making a ton of fucking money.
Everywhere. Stop it. There's people that are not qualified for their position.
But at least they still got on that path to make more money.
What does lazy mean?
Those lazy people still got on the path to make more money.
No, fool. They be in the right gene pool because they work for their father. Or they
Let me ask you this.
The money. You crazy, bro.
Do you agree with the phrase that if you're gonna be lazy, you gotta be smart, or if you're not, then you gotta be a hard worker? Do you think you can finesse being lazy if you're smart?
Yes.
Regardless.
Of course.
Not necessarily.
No, it's not definitely not necessarily, but I think you can.
It's case by case.
I think some of the smartest people
are lazy.
Work the least, bro. It's all about working smarter. You know what I'm saying?
They the most critical. They're the most critical thinkers a lot of times.
You call it lazy. I call it energy efficient.
Those same lazy people, they be the most critical thinkers.
What's the easiest way I could get this shit done?
Like, think about the person who thought of the car, or the first nigga that said, you know what, instead of running over there, I'm about to hop on that horse, bro.
Or that bike, nigga that built that bike.
Yeah, and the West, that nigga was kind of, you know.
So what's the
he was definitely trying to find a more efficient way to do this shit.
Efficiency. That's the replacement word for lazy.
Right, brothers? Them niggas is like, bro, we not driving across the country no more, bro.
Nigga, we flying to this.
I'm about to fly. I'm gonna.
We are getting to our destination.
I don't think that's laziness, though.
No, it's like strategic.
That's creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, lazy. What is the lack of desire to want to exert energy?
Yeah.
So if I want to
right, but a lot of those things aren't about not being about being lazy, though.
Yeah,
that's my point.
He's 100%.
There's a lot of those things are about efficiency, so
right.
He's not necessarily lazy.
You know who's
they had a my fault, Dan. My fault.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, in a way, they had some lazy thoughts because they were just like, shit, I'm trying to be. Yeah, they were being efficient, but they was also being lazy in a sense.
No, no, they're not mutually exclusive. No.
Shut the whole
like, how does that make sense? How are they being lazy in sense? If someone says, I need to get across the country in 3 hours versus getting across the country in 3 days because I have somewhere else to be, that's not being lazy. That's trying to be more efficient.
I get it.
I see what you're. Okay.
You're right.
I see it.
Yeah.
So they're not mutually exclusive. That's all I'm saying.
You know what's crazy though? The laziest person out of the whole scenario is the person that sees the idea and then steals it and copyrights it and makes all the money off of it. That's the lazy motherfucker that we're not seeing.
Mark Zuckerberg.
The scumbag.
Oh, they're not smart as fuck. They're lazy as fuck, and they just have connections and they know the game. They know how America operates. It's all based on contracts. It's based on.
Do we not know the game though? Do we not know the game?
A lot of us don't.
A lot of people don't know the game.
A lot of us don't, and that's a major issue because it's not being taught.
I'll make a rare generalization and say most of us don't.
Right, majority. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know the difference between copyright and trademark and shit like that. Like those are things that are very important if you're trying to get your stuff off the ground.
But isn't the game simple? It's a simple cat and mouse. Attraction, law of attraction. Isn't the game pretty simple, right? It puts a carrot on a stick. They dangle the carrot on a stick in front of you and you chasing that carrot for the rest of your life. Like, and that carrot could be money, it could be items, it could be like.
I'm saying it depends if you give them that kind of control. Like for me, like one thing that I've realized is I want to forever be my own boss. I don't care if I technically have a manager or a supervisor above me. I dictate what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of what. So they're going to either have to respect that or fire me. And I haven't had an issue keeping a job. So you feel me?
Yeah.
I like that control. I like that control thing you bring up 2K.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with it.
Destiny.
Because you can run the rat race and you can get attached to whatever you decide you want to get attached to. Like if you feel obligated to a job, that's where you fuck up because that job's not obligated to you. You feel me? Like those type of things I don't really believe in. Like I am a hard worker with the whole loyalty thing and like being diligent and fulfilling whatever you need to fulfill. But I'm not going to let somebody fuck me over because, you know, I'm loyal to this place. Like, nah, we're not doing that. Like,
all right, buddy.
No, you're worth your value. And you're saying like, this is it.
Yeah. Right. If the numbers don't make sense, I'm out. Like, no, I'm good. And also, if it's something that goes against, you know, my personal morals, I'm out as well. Like, and you can feel how you want to feel about it. I don't give a fuck. And that's what I tell them every time.
Yeah.
So like I feel like if you give them that power, that's almost like that's the same. Like to me, mentally, I feel like that's the same shit as slavery, dog. Like you giving somebody that much power over you that you're gonna do shit that's against your morals in order to get it.
Like, can I go a little deeper and say that can't you consider us all slaves to our desires? Every human being.
I'm saying, but who's in control of those desires, though?
Who's putting the carrot on the stick?
Exactly.
I feel
Who
like
is?
Y'all niggas
That's
both
the
just
game, though. But that's why I say essentially the game is the same thing. It's no different.
It's no game. You know who's holding the fucking carrot
y'all
on the
niggas
stick.
both just turned
We
into
ain't even
the Riddler.
what happened?
Huh?
Y'all niggas both just turned into the Riddler. Fad, philosophical, fast.
oh, yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, we
Socrates,
going
fat.
too deep. We going too deep.
That's
Nigga said we had question
I
marks
think
on
we're
the
getting
seconds and
into
shit.
Socrates ass
the
head.
shit I'm
It's-
talking might be too true.
It's the white tees. The white tees, bro. The white tees. Fucked up. But no, nonetheless, like I said, I just I don't know. Like I can't. I'm not in that bag where I'm gonna do more for someone else's goal, and it's against what I believe in for a couple extra dollars. Like I'm cool on that. Like
Yeah, that's a dub.
yeah,
Wow.
if it ain't something I can
vibe with that.
do it. What was that?
I vibe with that 100%. I say that to my dad. I say it all the time. I say, yeah.
Nah, if
I'll
there's
give-
anything that goes against my morals, I'm not doing it. I don't give a fuck what it's for.
Right, it's a
Like,
dub.
it doesn't make sense.
Character.
Yeah, a job? No.
No.
A job when I could go get another one?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, jobs. These motherfuckers be thinking like we can't just hop into another place. So like we can
Bro.
definitely do that.
That's why I'm careful about how people are saying, oh, you work here or you work for them. And I'm like, no, I work with them because it's essentially a contractual agreement and we both benefit. It's not, I am working for them. No, I'm working for me and my family, but.
Bro, at the end of the day, you're an independent contractor, regardless of where you decide to work. You know what I mean? Like you're bringing your talents wherever the fuck you at. And the way I look at it is we're vastly underpaid. So I don't really
Vastly.
know about
Everyone's underpaid.
that's a fact. So if I'm making you 5 million for the year in sales and I'm getting paid fucking call it 60, 70, 80, even if it's 150,000 you making and you making them 5 million, you're still underpaid.
Let's talk about that though.
It's
Because
ridiculous.
you don't have no liability either though.
You don't. Well, actually, I do because we got 2 businesses, so I got liability out the wazoo.
Talk
No,
different.
I'm talking about when you're working for a
Oh,
place. You
oh,
make
at
$5
the
million
top?
for a company and you make
Yeah.
100,000. You're not liable for like if the company gets sued for something like X million dollars. You're not on the hook for any of it. You don't have any liability. So I mean, to a degree, because yeah, when you have your own business, then you have. On the flip side, you're completely your own boss. You don't have anyone over you. You also have a lot more things that
You have to take care of.
it's pros and cons.
And the
And there's
thing
a
with
lot
that,
more
too, though,
liability.
I was gonna say with
A lot
that
more
liability,
overhead.
that's why they pay insurance. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah.
As far as
That's what
overhead
insurance
goes,
is for.
yeah. Oh, what insurance is not really too crazy either, depending on what the situation is. But I'm saying if you got a big corporation or some shit like that, okay, it's gonna cost you, but a lot of that should be write-offs as well. Like
A lot
all
of
right,
those big corporations, though, they bring in, they have the revenue to
Right.
cover that. So it's not really a thing.
right, and they also have crazy accountants on the big budget that's going to save them stupid money on the back end anyway, as far as having to pay out.
Even
So
if
like,
insurance is crazy, bro.
yeah,
Paying your insurance is as a company or an
Right.
entity is
No,
way
it's-
better than paying for outright for some wild ass instance.
that's
Oh,
a fact.
absolutely.
So it's just
That's
like
a fact.
I mean, that's
Big-
in the basis of insurance generally. I mean, don't matter what it is.
Right.
No matter if it's a car insurance, life insurance, whatever,
Yeah,
personal
you
injury
could be more
insurance.
lenient in more personal areas. I feel like you could, like, you know what I mean? You could probably finagle a bagel. Niggas
Right.
right every day.
Finagle bagel.
It depends though.
You know what I mean? If you ain't, if I walk in the Bank of America and I slip because the nigga put too much water on the floor and they ain't paying
Word.
insurance that much,
My nigga said, I'm
Yeah,
out.
but you gotta also think about that on a personal level.
no,
If a
I
nigga-
do. I'm just saying the ramifications for a company would, you know what I mean? Like the instant that they would have to pay would be like I crashed a car before that I didn't have insurance on.
Mm.
I had to do what I had to do. Yeah, I ate the ramifications. I understood.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Right.
Because if you broke and you drive your car into fucking someone's house and they shit get blown the fuck up, now you got to pay for a $300,000 house, and you might be a nigga who make 30 grand a year.
Word.
But if you paying that insurance every month, it ain't gonna be no $300,000 you paying.
Hell
You
no.
gotta pay if they
All
don't gotta.
relative.
Do you gotta pay, or they just lock your ass up? I don't know.
Nah,
Oh,
they won't lock you up for something like that. They'll
How the
just
fuck you gonna pay 300,000 though if you making
you
30K?
won't. That's the point.
Exactly.
They'll garnish your wages forever.
Would they? I don't know. I'm not familiar. That's what I'm saying. Part of
Well,
Right.
if you get sued and you don't have the bread in most states, they can just garnish your wages. So just take bread. Like anytime you get a job, they're just gonna take bread out of your check until you pay off that 300,000 that you're probably never gonna fucking pay off.
God damn.
See, that's why so many drug dealers.
trying
So,
to
Fuck this, bro.
incrementally pay that shit off over time.
yeah,
Nah,
imagine
That shit like
you
a school
getting
loan, nigga. That shit like a
right.
school loan. Sally
You
Mae shit.
make 50 grand a year and they taking out $300 out of your check or whatever every 2 weeks. Nigga, it's gonna take you a mad long to pay $300,000.
It's gonna take you 300 years.
It's gonna take you 1,000 weeks. How long is 1,000 weeks?
Nigga, what?
What's that like?
A year.
Was that like 20 years? 21
Jesus.
years? Like,
Right.
come on.
You gonna pay that shit off when you retire, cuz.
Nigga,
Bro,
you die,
nuts.
nigga.
Right.
Your
Fuck
fucking
1K
daughter,
off.
your fucking daughter and son's about to be paying that shit off, nigga. Once you
So-
die.
So regardless, man, that insurance is all relative.
Better get you that big life insurance, bro.
I thought I'd be confused when dudes don't have no insurance, man. I understand, like, you know, if it's you got a little beater car or like, you know, you some 19-year-old kid, but like when there be grown adults with like real jobs and like
Right.
they be trying to
Oh.
drive their cars without car insurance, I be
There-
like, yo,
Nigga, you never done that
Can't
before?
judge, bro. I have lived that
No.
life, my nigga. I have lived
never,
that life.
You never done that before, nigga?
never. I always had
Damn used to be a
insurance,
hot
bucko.
boy. Damn used to be a hot boy, huh?
I couldn't afford it at that point.
Yeah,
Huh?
Oh yeah, he used to be a hot boy, nigga. I
it
see
came a
it.
time where I had to make choices based on my finances of what had to go. And
Right.
at the time,
No,
where I was
but
at,
that's
I was
understandable if you can't afford it. But I'm talking
Right?
about
You
dudes.
gotta understand. Like, let's
That's
say you
what it
just got
was.
your
I'm talking
license.
about dudes that can afford it and don't. But I said
Yeah.
a grown person with a
Yeah.
regular job. I'm not talking.
He's
I said
talking
I'm not
about-
talking
he's
about
talking
them
about-
niggas.
He's
I'm
talking about dudes
like,
in America right now that ain't got
yeah,
no insurance.
dudes,
You
dudes be making
making 90 a year and you ain't got no insurance. Like, what you doing?
right. Like, how you got no car insurance on your
Yeah.
car and you bringing
some-
in $1,000, $2,000 a week, whatever.
Some
like,
people's
come on,
priorities all
Oh,
fucked
what
up,
you
man.
doing,
Some people's
baby?
priorities is all types of fucked up.
This
man.
nigga
Instant
drives
gratification.
7 with no insurance.
wild.
Crazy as fuck.
Unless you driving $1,000 car or some shit, it don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, you better get a bicycle. Fuck you mean?
Be on one of them little scooters.
Fuck
Yeah, you
that.
think they gonna bring them scooters back out now that COVID clearing up, man?
Fuck no. Not in Hartford. Stupid ass niggas.
I'm trying to get on a Lime scooter this summer, man.
Well, I
That
don't
ain't
like ride with
Yeah,
Bay.
be in downtown Dallas on some shit.
I call you
That nigga-
downtown Beanie.
That's crazy, bro. Like, nowadays, having masks and gloves on is so regular. Like, imagine that.
Yeah, I
Imagine-
remember when that shit first started, and I remember
Yeah.
one of the people at my job started wearing a mask, and we all looked at him like he was crazy. Like, nigga, why the fuck you got a mask on? And now it's like, damn, nigga, like a nigga comes into the job with
Without
no
a
mask on because they forgot. I'm like, nigga, I'm like this.
mask.
Like, nigga, back the fuck up. Like,
I remember
what
when
the fuck is
COVID
wrong
first
with you?
started, and niggas in
Yo.
the chat told me that in 2 months we would never hear of COVID anymore.
Oh, fuck no. They was wrong as hell.
I said, y'all niggas gotta stop with these conspiracies.
Yeah, you gotta quit that.
You
Yo,
Yeah, man.
nah, doggy. Like with the COVID shit, I ain't even start wearing masks. Like my job just got pissed at me. They was like, yo, you can't just be calling out whenever you want to. I said, the fuck, I got the days for it. And what you talking about? Yo,
I hate that jobs will make you earn your time off, but then not let you use it. So why the fuck did I earn it?
Nigga, I didn't ask for no clearance. I was doing no call, no shows. I was trying to get
They was
fired.
hoping that you wasn't gonna really be using it like that.
It's
They
kinda
wanted to
hard
see if you.
get fired
They wanted to
from
see if you
jobs.
they wanted to see if you're the prototypical worker.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not.
When I need time off, I take time off.
Nah,
And
nigga.
and the thing about it is like, it's like it's really not a time off request, right? It's me
Right.
telling you I'm gonna be off work, and then it's like when I come back, like either I'm still gonna have my job or I'm not gonna have my job. But like I'm not coming to work.
You have to play it tactically. I think
I'm just asking you to pay me while I'm out of work. That's what a time off request is.
I think there's tact required in everything because you do want to keep a solid relationship with your manager. I think for
you're the kiss of dick.
No, I understand all that. I'm gonna request the time off, but if you don't approve it, like I'm still gonna do what I'm going to do.
Correct.
Like I asked you to pay me. If you don't want to pay me, that's fine. But I'm going to be off.
My shit was dead, bro. So it was a global pandemic that broke out. These niggas thought the whole staff was still gonna show up to work. I'm like, what the fuck is on your brain, dog? I'm not and I get requesting for vacation.
Yo.
This vacation, I took sick days, VPO, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, nigga, I'm not coming in. So you feel how you want to feel. We'll talk about it after the pandemic is over. Nigga took off.
What was that? Careful. I lost a job that way. Like one of my first jobs, I got fired because I requested time for Thanksgiving, and the manager was lying. Of course, he was like, "Oh, I already made the schedule." I'm like, "You're lying. There's a fucking sign-up sheet outside the door, so you couldn't have made the schedule because you're still doing sign-up sheets."
Right.
Long story short, I didn't come those days. I told them I had to leave. I had to go to Georgia with my family. This was up in Connecticut. I'm like, I don't have anywhere to stay. The school closes down, so you can't stay on campus. I have no choice. I have to go to Georgia with my family. Come layoff time, he has the assistant manager fire me. They make up some shit. So in regards to like, I get it. Like you earn the time. I still think tact is necessary to mitigate any of the bullshit. It's all for you. It's not, again, it's not for the company that should be intact. Huh?
They abusing power when they do that shit, bro.
Yeah.
They are. That nigga got fired. He got fired.
Listen,
he got fired for it, but I got fired too. So it's not like they're gonna rehire me.
Nah.
Me and Gene been through circumstances even like, and Gene's seen it. Like we seen some shit like with our at Gene's old job and everything and my job currently, but man, we had management that was like, you called out, that shit was like a death sentence, nigga.
Word.
That was like, nigga, they was ready to fire your ass.
Same. I work for the same company. One of the managers threatened me. She was like, she told me through text. She said, "Oh, I'm submitting you for termination." And I'm like, "Why?" I called out. I used sick time. I haven't gotten any written. I think they don't know if you know. Like, she didn't know I understood how it worked. I'm like, I have no write-ups, no verbal warnings. How the fuck are you gonna submit me for termination for calling out and using sick time?
Right.
But then again,
they know what they doing.
The lack of understood.
That's why you don't gotta go about kissing their ass, bro, because it's all arbitrary. Them niggas make the schedule themselves. They do that shit manually. they know you earn that time. They could work it out in the schedule to give you that day off.
They
And
don't want
it's people at the job that they fuck with more than you that will ask
Right.
for the day off, and they will get that shit, bro. And that's the part about it where you got to be, you got to make sure you keep a good relationship and shit. It's like, no, nigga,
Right.
if our relationship was good and I'm not disrespecting you, I earn this time off. You know what I mean? Like, let me take my day off. I look at it the same way Daniel said, yo, all I'm doing is letting you know on April
Right.
15th, I won't be here. Whether or
Nope.
not you want to pay me is on you, but I will not be here.
Right.
Right.
I got
You
you.
agree to
too.
that? And y'all
Yeah.
handle it how y'all handle it. If y'all fire me over the dumb
Man,
shit,
I put in a time off request the other day, and my manager ain't approve it. It was last week. She didn't approve it till today, but like I booked my flight. Like it didn't matter.
Oh,
Like,
it didn't even
I'm
matter. Like you
I'm
could have
not
proved it
coming to
that day. You could have
work.
proved it a few days later. It didn't even
Yeah,
matter. It's
like you could have declined it. I would have been like, yo, my flight's
I
booked.
still think there's a part of relationship. It's like relationship management. Like to be, it's a balance. I'm not saying
But they
like
not
kiss
managing
no
their relationship
ass.
with you when they give Sally Mae with the round booty the days off and not
Right.
Damon. They're not
With the
managing
round
their
Right.
relationship with you.
Hmm? One more
It's
time?
people at your job who your manager who writes the schedule fuck with more and will give them the day off over you.
Why do they fuck with them more though?
Yeah, it depends on
Because there's bias.
Yeah.
Well, there's bias because some like to want to be real. That's why it's important to have good relationship with your coworkers, your managers. You have a good rapport with the people you work with. You're gonna be more likely to be able to get
Basically,
those
they
days
ain't
off
kiss
without
ass at work. That's all I'm hearing.
Huh?
But
I
I
don't kiss ass. There's a
I
difference
kinda
between
gotta
kissing
disagree.
ass and building rapport. You
I
could
gotta
have a
disagree,
good
though.
relationship. Huh?
I'll be having good rapport with all my management. There's still niggas
Right.
at my job who they fuck with more than me, who they would give the time off to.
Exactly.
I mean, there's
That's
still
the other
niggas. There's
thing.
still
Because they
somebody
have
who
more
would
of
come in.
a
At the end of the day,
because they
they're gonna have favorites regardless.
I do
Right.
not
Like if
think
you have a
because-
manager that
I don't
plays
think
favorites,
anyone
it
I
don't
would
matter.
work with
because
would call me an
James,
ass kisser. Not even
Hold
my
on.
manager wouldn't call me an ass kisser.
Yeah, we know.
However,
We're just joking, bro. We don't got to harp on it.
Yo, Gene, you're saying that you have a better, like you have really good rapport with these people, but those people have more of a friendly, like they have a more friendship type of demeanor with one another.
The manager's
Yeah,
gonna
cool
have
and going out for drinks,
the
bullshit. around.
managers has favorites for whatever reason.
Oh, absolute. Oh,
It could be
man.
because they kiss ass. It could be because they're more friendly. It could be because they've known them longer. It could be because they're dating their sister. Like it could be a million fucking reasons. But some people are gonna play favorites regardless. So you can
Play
have
that
a good
game too.
rapport, but if you
Play the
still
game.
not the closest with that individual, you're still gonna catch a L at the end of the day.
Well, you don't got to be the closest. You just have to have a rapport with them. So what you call out, it's
But
not.
the Gene's point.
Yeah, I think
James' point
I think
was-
it's going over your head, Dave.
Yeah, the James point, you're gonna have great rapport with somebody, but there might be other people that just have this more of a close
That have better
friendship
rapport.
type of right. It's precise.
Long story
basically.
short.
They got
Better
a different
rapport.
angle. You feel what I'm saying? So like put it like this. If me and you work at the same spot and we got the same manager, and like you got great rapport with the manager and you ask for the same day off I asked for, but I'm stroking his sister, and if he don't give me the day off, she gonna be in his ear for the next week. He gonna give me the day off.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's just a different angle. And like there's been situations where I've had great rapport with people and they took the kindness as a weakness, where it's like, all right, boom, he's a nice guy. He won't mind if I decline his shit. And then I still left and they were asked out.
Shit, there's been times where I've been the person who got the day off because I had a good ass rapport over somebody else who put a request in. There's been times where I've reaped that benefit where I was so tight with the nigga who wrote the schedule and I might have done a favor for them the last time and I came in and did 2 extra shifts or something like that. And I'm just like, yo, me and my whoever about to go do I need to go. I need like 4 days. And they be like, oh, well, this person put in a request. I'm like, bro, but I held you down. And they're like, all right, G, you got it. And
isn't that proving the point I was trying to make?
That's the thing, but that's the thing with life in general, like this whole fairness rule and shit like that. Like life ain't fair. Like it just happens that way sometimes. I know that's not fair because this person got this day off and I did it and I put in my time before this person got. It just happens that way sometimes. Like that's
niggas just
life.
don't care.
Man, all I gotta say is fuck these jobs and fuck this time off, man.
I'm done.
This
I'm done.
podcast going on too long, nigga. It's time to cut this shit out, man.
The arbiter has spoken.
Yeah, and this shit. Listen, man. You know me. When we start getting near that 2 hour mark, man, shut this shit the fuck down.
It's been that long. It don't feel like it, man. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one.
It's getting close, man. It's already 11:15 y'all time. What time we got on?
Oh shit. It's
Not sure.
bedtime.
Yeah,
When that coffee wearing off, you know it's bedtime.
Bro, the coffee ran off a half an hour ago. I still slumped back here.
Yeah, when I seen this nigga take off that whiteboard and put his head on the fucking wall, I knew it was over.
Think about to put a new rag on.
Sit back, bro.
That shit sucked. He said, I ain't gonna put it on.
Once you see do rag Dame, you know it's bedtime.
Yeah.
That's
Shit, man.
My nigga about to
Oh
put
man.
Yo, y'all got
Oh, God.
niggas got chill, bro.
Oh my God.
But shit, man, let's wrap this thing up, man. Let's hit these outros, starting with CRM. That's Control Room Mugga, if y'all don't know.
My shit really look like
That shit sound like a crack program.
Hey, yo.
It look like I do science experiments in this room.
This nigga producing the show while he on the show.
Yo.
Nah,
Yo.
Mugga running the teleprompters. Go ahead, bro.
But yo, Keenan Nelson, aka K Mugga. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, K Mugga19. We out.
Yes, sir. Gene.
Normally it go vibes, but yeah, man. Gene
Yeah,
June. Follow me at Gene.June. 2 E's. 2 E's, please. Gene.June. 2 E's, please.
Word. Dame.
Damon, you know the vibes. Don't follow me. I'm like,
Okay.
Oh, yo, COHIVA seasons, Cohiba season. You could follow me since you can't follow Dame, you heard? But if you follow me, make sure you follow Event Space, man. We out here. We got 2 locations. Make sure you pull up.
If y'all don't follow either one of them, make sure y'all follow Politically Incorrect Podcast.
Here we go. Follow PI Pod. Don't follow me.
And I'm the arbitrator, as they like to call me, Dan the Man, Petty King Danny, at Newt Skywalker. That's all my at names. I'll let your boy another PI podcast, and we out here.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Bye.